I'm Dr. Alex Loyd, and welcome to the Spiritual Laws of Nature. Today, we're talking about one that is maybe sort of a least common denominator spiritual law. You know, if there's 100 spiritual laws, there may be 10 or 15 that you would say these apply to just about everybody. Well, this one not only applies to everybody, but after you start learning about the spiritual laws and starting to live by them, this might be sort of the Cliff Notes simplified version of all of them, boiled down to one thing. And sometimes that's really, really nice. I remember when the first VCRs came out, they were, like this big by this big and weighed, I don't know how much, but they were really heavy and they were expensive. And it had an instruction book with so many rules, so many instructions. You can't do this. If you do this, it won't work right. You have to do this in this 7-step sequence or it won't work right. There were way too many rules for me, okay? And I was never, ever, one time able to successfully program a VCR, okay? On the other hand, if you can boil everything down to kind of one thing in your life and then say, okay, this is simple for me. Every day to just sort of take stock about how do I want to live spiritually rather than for the flesh and for the natural laws, so that I can plug into spiritual where miracles happen and all of that. And the spiritual controls the physical and the mental. How do I do that? Because if there's 12 things, I may have a hard time remembering that. Okay. Well, I think I've got you covered today. I've got it boiled down to one thing with 3 points. Okay. So here it is. If there's one rule that you will never break, here's what I recommend it be. Never go against love. Okay? Never go against love. All of us have done things wrong in our life, made so many mistakes, broken rules. Everyone I've ever counseled with could say that. Yes, I've done a lot of things wrong, a lot of mistakes, broken a lot of rules. Even if it's a rule keeper, they'll have broken rules. And they may be breaking rules they don't even know they're breaking, all right? Well, if there's one rule that you never, ever, no matter what, go against, it's to never go against love. Ever. All right? Another way to say that might be never go against your conscience. I believe the conscience is part of love, not all of love, but it is a way that you can think of it. An ancient manuscript says the law that is written on our heart, which would be the unconscious, subconscious, etc., is love. That's the law that's written on the heart. Okay? Love. So your conscience's number one thing is love. Okay? I call your conscience your love compass. Okay? So anyway, consider that to have only one hard and fast, I will never break that. Now you may be thinking murder or something like that, and okay. But I'm really talking about how you live your life, not just acts that you do. All right? So consider having only one rule that you have vowed never to break, and that's to go against love. All right? And if you want to be real practical with that, to go against your conscience. So when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, anything you're doing all day long, you can ask yourself, okay, how is my conscience with me doing this? Is my conscience okay with me doing this? Okay, my conscience is okay. All right, would it be going against love for me to do this, or would it be in harmony with love for me to do this right now? And you'll have impressions about both, okay? So that's the one rule, all right? Here's two more things about it. So how do you tell what's important, what's most important to me right now? You're taking out the garbage, you're at work, you're out with friends, 1,000 different scenarios. How do you determine what is most important to you right now? Well, first thing you do is you ask yourself that question. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'd like you to ask yourself, what is most important to me right now? And let me tell you what it is. As I've counseled many, many people at the end of their life, it's you. It's whoever you're with, relationship, others, significant others, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, co-worker, okay? It's whoever you're with or whoever is in your life, all right? That's what's most important to you. People don't get at the end of their life very often, and it's all about money. Now, the miserable ones do. There's some miserable ones at the end of their life where it's all about money, all right? But the great majority at the end of their life, they realize it's all about relationships and people. So whoever you're with, including just yourself, all right? That's what's most important to you, all right? Not whatever end result outcome you're working on, okay? So what is most important to you is not the successful business deal. It's your wife or your mother or your brother or your friend or your relationship with God or yourself, okay? That's what's most important to everybody when the trauma comes, when the end comes, okay? And by the way, I've asked this question a good bit in counseling. What if you knew the world was going to end tomorrow, or it's going to end in 3 days or 7 days or whatever? What would you do? And yeah, some people said bucket list stuff. I'd go skydiving or whatever. But what every person said is I would make things right with every person in my life, make sure they know I love them, let them tell me they love me if that's the situation. But that's what would be most important, okay? In a life or death, this may be the end of it for me kind of situation, not the end results. Well, what's interesting is most people currently, when they're sitting on my couch, what is most important to them is end results, okay? That's on the nature side. See, you reap what you sow, karma, action, reaction, Newton's 3 laws of motion, okay? That's natural law. What we're wanting to live by is spiritual law because it controls the body, controls the mind, all right? And it is not bound by natural law. It's not bound by action, reaction. So if you live by natural law, if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. Spiritual law, if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you can still get good, especially long term. Big, big difference. So anyway, what is most important to you right now is the people in your life and what you're doing right now. Those two things, the people in your life and what you're doing, okay? So, What is your attitude to be? Okay, if you're saying, number one, the one rule I'm never going to go against is to go against love. And I can practically plug into that a little bit by my conscience, but it's more than that too. So ask both of those questions. Is my conscience okay with me doing this or not? And then ask the second question. Is this in harmony with living in love, or is it selfishness, seek pleasure, avoid pain, what's in it for me? All right. What is most important to you right now are the people in your life and what you're doing right now to do it as best you can in love for the next 30 minutes. All right? Love toward the people, love poured in to whatever you're doing right now. And that brings me to the last one. I think this is a pretty good life mantra. You know, something to say in your mind like 50 times a day that's, okay, I'm committed to this. This is my path. I'm living this way for the rest of my life, no matter what. All right? I think this is a pretty good one. I choose to love anyway. I choose to love anyway. No matter how someone is treating me, no matter what the situation is, if it's some financial downturn, if it's a health problem, no matter what it is, whether it's unfair to me or great to me, no matter what, in any and every situation, no matter what's happening, I choose to love anyway, in spite of any things that just by my natural reaction, if it goes badly, I react with negativity, negative emotions, negative feelings, negative thoughts, and sometimes, not always, negative actions. No, I am choosing not to do that anymore for the rest of my life. I am going to choose to love anyway, no matter what the anyway is. So, number one, the one rule you never break, don't go against love. Number two, what is love? What is most important to you right now? It's the people in your life and whatever you're doing right now for the next 30 minutes to do it as best you can in love. And then your life mantra, or change it and come up with one that works for you. No matter what the situation, I choose to love anyway. If you can put those into action in your life, put them in your heart, put them in your mind. Like I said, 50 times a day to just sort of say that in your head. Number one, I'm never going to go against love or my conscience. Number two, what is most important to me right now are people, including myself, maybe including God, but relationships and people and what I'm doing right now. Not the outcome in 3 months or a year or some pain pleasure thing that I'm trying to get to that I want to. No. If life or death came, it would be people and what you're doing right now. And finally, no matter what happens to me, no matter what the situation, no matter how bad it might get, I choose to love anyway. All right. I hope that is helpful to you. I can tell you many that I have counseled, that I've worked with them with this, which is typically at the end of our time together, is sort of, okay, now you got everything you need. Go out there and start living that spiritual life. All right? This would a lot of times be the last session where this is their 3-point thing I'm sending them out with, and then they live it. So, it's made a huge difference in my life and in the lives of many people that I've worked with as they've given me feedback over the last 30 years. So I hope it's beneficial for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day.